and we appreciate you joining us today and for your time this Thursday afternoon. It does look like we have a great turnout, which is outstanding. And it does appear we have some attendees still logging on to the webinar. So before we get started, I just wanted to go through a few things. First, if you'd like to ask a question, please find the GoToWebinar control panel on the right-hand side of your screen. Please ask any questions, and we will certainly do our best to get to your questions during and after the webinar today. Next, I would like to thank Dwight Stuckey, our president, Maggie Hammett, our lead technology underwriter, and Megan Piney of business development here at Stuckey & Company for joining us today and presenting. So about Stuckey & Company, we are an MGA, and we provide our independent insurance agents and brokers with innovative insurance programs, along with excellent service that they need to ensure long-term growth and success. As of today, Stuckey & Company has 9 specialty insurance programs we offer to our agents. This year, we have completed 27 successful years in the business while serving 9,000 licensed independent insurance agencies and over 200,000 customers, while providing excellent service from our 151 promise. At Stuckey, we do everything from creating niche specialty insurance programs for our agents and manage all areas of the insurance cycle, including underwriting, rating and rule generation, program placement, the quoting and binding process. We also issue policies, policy services such as processing endorsements and change requests, issuing certificates of insurance. We handle the renewal issuance, invoicing and billing, reporting. We do some systems integration, claims handling, marketing, and training, such as this webinar today. Here are 8 of our specialty insurance programs that we offer to our appointed agents. First, we have Safety Tech, our technology E&O insurance program, which we will discuss in further detail here shortly. Next, we have Aspire A&E for architects and engineers. Arbor Guard, which is Stuckey's first program, started 27 years ago, which handles marinas and boat dealers. We have our miscellaneous professional liability, consisting of over 350 eligible classes in MPL. Element for the green energy industry. We have our personal lines for home, personal auto, watercraft, high value home, just to name a few. And then of course we have our commercial lines, which includes BOP, workers' comp, commercial auto, bonds, and more. And then lastly, we have our surplus lines markets for any risk that falls outside of our underwriting guidelines. All right, so now I'd like to pass the mic over to Dwight Stuckey, and he would like to go into further detail of how to ensure tech-focused marketing and advertising services.
Right on. Thank you, Tyler. The United States is by far the largest advertising market in the world. There's more than 200,000 advertising agencies. In 2016, $190 billion was spent in advertising. 2017, $207 billion, and I'm sure it went up in 2018. Today, at the end of the session, I just want everybody to kind of understand the market size. Like I just mentioned, recognize some of the terminologies, some examples, and then basically understand how to insure businesses like those. Traditionally, a marketing or advertising agency would do, some of the traditional marketing services here, print, video, radio, whatnot. They would do consulting, public relations, direct mail. They might do some market research and things like that. But in the past 10 years or so, they've been doing much more than just brand identity, logos, cards, and creating letterhead. Although those things are very important, we have so much more to use these days. Advertising agencies are creating an automated, web-based way of doing business in advertising. And sometimes they're doing it only on the traditional advertising. So They may bring direct mail to scale, like a company that we use here called LOB, and that's at lob.com. Their platform automates kind of that age-old offline business process in a modern, intelligent, and technology-forward way. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. So when thinking about this, Maggie and I got together and tried to put together some of the technology that we've seen come across our desk. And we kind of categorize some of these things as web-based, communication, app design and project management, search and social, automation and integration, artificial intelligence, programmatic advertising, mobile advertising, and then kind of the analysis of that. Some of these are kind of listed in no particular order. But let's dive into websites and design. You know, I guess back in '95 when we were putting together the Safety Tech program, this was really all we had to underwrite. I mean, you know, there were bulletin board services and website designers and internet service providers, but the market for software was very slim. In fact, the internet was so new that I remember some of the carriers actually designed to look at the Safety Tech program because they didn't see a future in the web. So we've come a long way. Here are some things that you know, kind of website designers do. Communication. So I guess this is the automated, compliance-driven communication, and the graphic here is from a company called Dialogflow that actually creates custom chatbots that you can install on your website. And it just gives users new ways to interact with your product by building engaging voice and text-based conversational interfaces, such as voice apps and chatbots, and is powered with AI, and it's on the website, and they use mobile apps and Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa, and all those cool tools that are very common today. But marketing and advertising agencies many times are deploying it because it's what businesses need to grow. So today there are the 3.8 million Android apps and 2 million iOS apps. And this is one of my favorites. I'm a Starbucks guy. You know, I use it to find a location. It delivers rewards to me. I pre-order and pick it up. It recommends additional products on their website that I should like. And, you know, these projects and applications many times are designed by the marketing and consulting firm that we're using to do the advertising and things and marketing. Search and social. So these are the standard search and social areas, and really some of the beauty behind it is what's called intent marketing, and it's about marketing a product or service based on a consumer's intent to adopt, purchase, or consume that particular service, which may either be implicitly or explicitly conveyed by the subscriber. So explicitly would be something like literal SEO terms, like buy bamboo hiking shoes, you know, something very, very explicit. But it can also be by better defining the audience and the technology used to find those the audience. So Now marketers are using site data, off-site web activity that's relevant, customer CRM systems, databases, social data, content consumption data, and all of that is kind of our digital footprint, right? There's a company, if you guys want to check it out, it's called Node. You can go to node.io, and basically it's delivering a much more magical experience and delivering the product at the right place at the right time. Automation and integration. So there was a new announcement in iOS 12 that I really thought was cool. You can set up Siri shortcuts, and you can get it to take a selfie automatically, or take a selfie and then add it to Facebook, or do some of those things. This particular picture here is if you add a new Instagram photo, then save it to Dropbox. And there's things like that all over the place. ITTT is if then that, Stringify, Zapier, some APIs, and an API is an application programming interface. So it's basically either an internal or external API to connect you with your partners or vendors. One thing that we have set up here is if a form on our website is completed, then post to our CRM and to LinkedIn and enroll somebody in a custom workflow that sends a series of emails. So, these things are very automated, and it starts with the marketing or advertising firm. A lot of people rely on those guys to bring in the business. Another thing a marketing firm does is use programmatic media buying and marketing. So it's they use algorithms to purchase and sell advertising space in real time. We use recommender engines. Recommender systems are used in movies and music and news and books and things like that. If you ever see on some of the larger places, if you bought this, then you might like that type of a thing. Those are recommender engines. They use the user's past behavior, what they've previously purchased or selected, as well as similar decisions made by other users, and then recommends additional items with similar properties. I was not aware that 40% of all baby product purchases live in households without children. And that's the type of things that our marketing agencies are helping us with these days. Another thing is speech and text recognition. They're converting written text or speech or video into data, and they're using that data in all of their marketing efforts. Programmatic advertising, we talked about it a little bit, but they basically build custom audiences. So instead of targeting an entire group, they only include those within the group that matters most to the advertiser. They use display ads only directed at the advertisers that count, and it cuts down on the cost of the advertising, and it's much more engaging and relevant messaging for that company. Hyperlocal mobile advertising, I guess a lot of that is geo-targeting. So geo-targeting is the practice of delivering content to a user based on his or her geographic location. This can be done by city or zip code via IP address or device ID, but it can also be done on a more granular level through GPS signals or geofencing. So going down the road, I'm sure you guys have seen some of that stuff, right? it'll pop up advertising on a map for a gas station or whatever if you're traveling. And then basically the analysis of that data. Some of the marketing firms were doing this before in a similar way, but it was mostly through surveys and collecting data kind of after the fact. Today, we use web analytics to improve ROI by doing behavioral analysis of visitors over time and understand their customer demographics while tracking metrics like click-through rates, number of conversions, type of referrals, and bounce rate. You know, they do this by embedding code in each web page, each email that they sent, or ad that is displayed. They aggregate the data and to make it useful for their business. So what type of business? So I put this slide in. It's one of those, if you don't think you're a tech business, you may soon be out of business, right? I intentionally listed basically every type of business there is, from airports to wholesale, and we have a product for any of those. It's a very broad underwriting guideline. So I wanted to use this sort of as an entry to how we ensure tech-focused marketing and advertising firms. So I'll hand this over to Maggie Hammett, our lead underwriter.
Thanks, Dwight. What I'm going to talk about is how to actually insure your technology clients. Dwight was nice enough to provide us some details on marketing and advertising services that your clients can do, and that's something that we do offer coverage for in the safety tech E&O coverage form, which includes your basic professional liability, which negligent acts Arizona emissions when rendering a technology service or a marketing advertising service. The electronic media liability would pick up the electronic content that is disseminated, transmitted, or produced on the internet. And this also, under electronic media, when you're developing content, you need to keep in mind developing content would also need to cover the design, the copyright, trademark, trade name, title, slogans, and things that go along with any type of electronic content that you're developing. So the form also picks up those types of coverage as well. Then we have the network operations security insuring agreement, which is the unauthorized access and use of the insured computer system. So we want to make sure that we're giving the insured themselves a little bit of coverage for any scenario that might pop up. And then our newest insuring agreement we launched, I think in 2016, would have been the data breach expense or the notification expense under the cyber liability. And this just includes the expense that it would cost to notify customers of the breach, maybe obtain legal or public relations that you would need to restore your company's reputation after a breach occurs. So this slide talks about some more safety tech coverages that we offer. We do have the worldwide coverage, so anywhere inside or outside the U.S., we would defend claims. And then again, we talk about the advertising services and the electronic media. And then unauthorized use and access. This pertains to, again, the insured computer system. And we also have a broad definition of insured. We want to make sure we're picking up, you might need to hire an independent or a subcontractor to complete a project. We want to make sure that we're offering coverage, extending coverage to those types as well. We can also include any subsidiaries that the company may have. And then exclusively to the safety tech form, we created an additional endorsement because we wanted to make sure that we're enhancing and offering the best coverage across the board for our clients. So we came up with the safety tech expansion, and this lists the highlights, the first dollar defense, innocent insured, contractual liability, defense outside the limits, which I can say when I look at competitors' app, I don't see that too often. So that's kind of a awesome benefit, is the defense outside the limits. And then telecommunication, management consulting, and IT staffing is offered under that. And then here we just wanted to share with you kind of what our values are. We want to make sure we're working with A-rated carriers. And for the safety tech, we write with Chubb. I know we've got some other A-rated carriers that we love working with as well. We start off on the safety tech with minimum premiums as low as $500. And we're always broadening the safety tech with more eligibility. We offers up to 20% more eligibility for your small commercial accounts that may be declined. We newly increased the revenue threshold on the safety tech program up to $50 million in revenue, and we also obtain increased cyber liability limits, and we can offer in-house authority up to $2 million on the cyber liability. So exciting stuff going on. We're still trying to expand the safety tech as we go. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and send it on. Tyler wanted to mention a few other options that Stuckey and companies offer and to our agents.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Maggie. I just want to know that Stuckey and Company, we recently soft launched a new agent communication platform called CoverCore. And as you know, here at Stuckey, we are always fully focused on our licensed independent agents. So our ultimate vision is for companies, prospects, and businesses to access a on-demand network of thousands of our experienced local and licensed insurance agents here at Stuckey and Company. And CoverCore does just that. CoverCore offers a 1-minute questionnaire that will help match these consumers and companies with an agent that offers a unique skill set needed for the placement of their insurance coverage. This online platform also can be accessed via web and also on smartphones and tablets. And in addition, CoverCore offers rate, quoting, and binding functionalities as well. And as of today, we are offering these functionalities for our technology industry, including safety tech, as Maggie was mentioned. To register for CoverCore, you can visit www.safetytech.com. Or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself as well. And in addition to CoverCore, our goal is to put your name, your agency, and specialization out there to be noticed. And at Stuckey, as we look long term, we have created unique methods to bring these companies and potential prospects to you, and also including tech and advertising marketing businesses, to our appointed agents. And one of these ways is from our new micro-targeted lead program fueled by Safety Tech. And with Safety Tech, we offer an extremely competitive product, as Maggie mentioned, that's easy to sell with better coverage, broader coverage, and low minimum premiums, and more. And most importantly, we provide the underwriting knowledge, the expertise for technology, and experience in all aspects of professional risk. So with that being said, we would like to provide the opportunity for our agents to gain experience and take part of such a booming tech industry. So a great opportunity and it's also a great opportunity to help support our agents' sales pipeline. So as of today, at no cost, Stuckey and Company will provide 25 to 50 hyper-local technology business leads within 5 miles or less from your office location or any other designated location. And from that, from what we've experienced so far, some of these businesses are falling within 2 miles, which is really nice. And in addition to the leads that we're going to provide, we also will provide full details such as primary contact number, websites, emails, property values, sales revenues to employee size and all that good stuff. And it'll also be reviewed and approved by our safety tech team to make sure it's qualified to fit our underwriting guidelines with safety tech. And also, along with the leads, we're providing co-branded marketing material to help you win the sale. This includes an initial letter, a postcard, and an email sent directly to these technology businesses from Stuckey. This marketing material includes, your contact information, your agency info, your logo, and it also introduces safety tech and invites that business to register in CoverCore for you, the agent, to be assigned as their agency representative and also obtain a quick quote. And once they do quote, we also are providing free giveaways as well, which is really cool. So to participate, we'll just need you to become appointed. You can visit Stuckey.com to register as an agent. Brief appointment documents to complete. And also, we'll need any agent to be 110% committed, and make sure you have the time available to participate. And also, let's see. Also, we just need to make sure that you follow up on the leads. There's some training provided, and we'll also assign tasks in CoverCore to make sure you reach out to these leads, and of course, quote the business with Stuckey and Company through Safety Tech. So it is a great opportunity for our agents. So if any questions, feel free to reach out to myself at Tyler@Stuckey.com. All right, I'll pass it back over to you, Maggie.
Perfect. Thanks, Tyler. That just kind of goes along with our last slide here, the Safety Tech service. Stuckey and Company has a lot to offer to our agents. We do training. We do a lot of one-on-one, easy setup as we have here, so you have access to the online rating. We're providing you with leads, kind of a customer instant messaging is in CoverCore, all kinds of neat, cool stuff, easy to set up, easy to get you working with some of these leads and quoting and rating on your own. The knowledge that we provide in the training in this webinar should get you equipped to have some good conversations. One thing I like to do, and I think we're focused on this too, transparent underwriting. If we'll dig deep, get some questions out there, some concerns. If we have a declination by chance, we want to make sure I send out a real reason. I tell you exactly how I feel, what the carrier feels, the reasons why we declined it. Make sure transparency is upfront always. And then we also have the big 151 promise, which is fabulous. Fast turnaround time. If you get a hard copy submission in by 1 o'clock, we'll have it out by 5 p.m. that day. And if it comes in by 5 p.m., we'll get out by 1 p.m. the next afternoon. So quick turnaround time, too. I think we've got lots of fun stuff going on. Dwight, I'll let you wrap it up.
Right on. Thank you, Maggie and Tyler. I will tell you, try those marketing, try the micro-targeted lead campaign. We will definitely use our underwriting authority, the PIN that we have with Chubb, to help you secure an order. We've been in business and doing this for 22 years, and we've been very successful with it, and we will use our underwriting understanding of the risk of the technology industry, and we want to help you succeed. So it's unique in the industry for sure. So we have just a few questions. Let's see here. The first question, I have a $35 million firm in Washington State. Can you insure somebody in Washington? Washington. I have a Missouri accent, Washington. So 35 million advertising firm in Washington.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
What's our revenue threshold?
It was just increased to 50 million. So that would be a perfect account.
Okay. We have a cyber liability limit of $5 million required by contract.
Absolutely, an in-house authority to $2 million. So.
And if it goes above $2 million?
Sure, we can get approval from the carrier, like you said, based on a contract. Yep.
Okay. And just a couple more questions. We have an account in California, I guess. They're asking if we're admitted in California, and maybe are there any states we're not admitted?
Yeah, we're actually admitted in all states except for 2 off the top of my head, Louisiana and Massachusetts. Okay.
And is a $0 deductible included?
Yes, we can include. We actually have a manuscript endorsement or an endorsement that I can throw on the form as well. In fact, I believe there's no charge for that.
So is that's the same as the first dollar defense, or can you actually do a $0 deductible?
Yeah, we can actually do a $0 deductible, a true $0 deductible.
So for both defense and indemnity?
Yes. And we've got one more, actually, I'll squeeze this in really quick. Unauthorized use of the insured network was definitely mentioned and covered. What about the insured working on someone else's network and in some manner opens up unauthorized use to their system? Yes, absolutely, that's covered in the main form. That is a service rendered to their client for a fee picked up on the tech D&O.
Awesome. Thank you, Maggie. So that's it. I want to thank Tyler and Megan and Maggie for presenting, being here for the questions and answers. Here's a contact page. Maggie is definitely your person to contact, lead underwriter at Stuckey & Company for the technology business. She can also be your entry point for the commercial and professional lines. We also have a personal lines department that's not up there, but I'll send a copy of this presentation, the slides. We have a risk calculator that's pretty cool, and a safety tech endorsement, and a follow-up email for you all. So if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.